Here's something interesting. Most English learners study for months and still freeze when a native speaker talks to them.
Not because their English is bad, but because they learned English for tests, not for real life.
Today is different. Today, we practice real conversations, the kind that happen every single day.
At a cafe, with a friend, at work, while shopping.
By the end of this video, you're going to sound more natural, more confident, more real.
So stay with us. This one is going to be good.
Hey everyone, welcome. I'm Alex.
And I'm Mia. And today we have a really fun A2 English practice session for you.
A2 means, basic English. You understand simple sentences, but you want to get better, more natural, more comfortable.
That's exactly what today is for. We're going to have real conversations, teach real vocabulary, and practice real situations.
No textbook language, no robotic sentences, just natural, everyday English.
Let's get into it.
Okay, Mia. First situation. Two friends meeting at a cafe. Very common, very everyday.
Listen to this conversation carefully. Then we'll talk about it together.
I'm Jake. You're Emma. Ready?
Ready.
Hey, Emma. Sorry I'm late. The traffic was terrible.
No worries. I just got here too. How are you doing?
Pretty good. A little tired. It's been a busy week. How about you?
I'm doing well. Actually, I'm really happy today. I got some good news at work.
Oh, really? That's great. What happened?
I got a promotion. Starting next month, I have a new position.
Wow, congratulations. You totally deserved it.
Thank you. I'm really excited. Anyway, what do you want to order?
I think I'll have a coffee. Maybe a sandwich too. I'm starving.
Same. I haven't eaten since this morning.
Okay, let's stop there and look at that conversation together.
So many useful phrases in just 1 minute of talking.
First phrase, pretty good. Prettygood.
Quick quiz before we explain it.
What does pretty good mean? A, very bad. B, quite good. C, perfect. Take a second. The answer is B, quite good. Pretty good doesn't mean excellent. It doesn't mean terrible. It means okay, better than average, comfortable.
In American English, pretty is used like quite or fairly. It makes adjectives softer.
Pretty good, pretty tired, pretty cold, pretty easy.
So if someone asks, "How was the movie?" you can say, "Pretty good. I enjoyed it."
Or, how was the test? Pretty hard, but I think I did okay.
Natural, easy. Americans use it constantly. Next phrase, no worries.
This is one of the most common phrases in everyday American English, and most textbooks don't teach it.
What does no worries mean? It means it's okay, don't feel bad, there's no problem.
When do people say it? When someone apologizes, when someone thanks you, when you want to make someone feel comfortable.
Like, Jake said sorry for being late. Emma said, no worries. That means it's fine, I'm not upset.
Or someone says, thanks for your help. You can say no worries. That means it was easy. I'm happy to help.
It's warm, it's casual, it's very American.
Similar phrases, no problem. Don't worry about it. It's all good.
All mean the same thing. All very natural.
Quick quiz time. Listen to this sentence, then answer.
I'm pretty tired today. I didn't sleep well.
Question. What does pretty tired mean here? A, very energetic. B, quite tired. C, not tired at all.
The answer is B, quite tired. Pretty makes the adjective softer, not extreme, just more than a little.
Good. Keep listening.
Alex, let's talk about that word Jake used at the end. Starving. S-T-A-R-V-I-N-G.
Yes, this one is really common and really fun.
What does starving mean literally? It means dying from no food,
very serious.
But in everyday conversation, people use it to mean just very, very hungry.
Like, I'm starving doesn't mean a medical emergency. It just means I really need to eat right now.
Where do people say this? Everywhere. Before meals, after missing lunch, anytime hunger feels strong.
Like, let's go eat. I'm absolutely starving.
Or, sorry I'm cranky. I haven't eaten all day. I'm starving.
And you can also say, I could eat a horse. That's an idiom that means the same thing.
A whole horse.
Americans are dramatic about hunger.
We really are.
Okay, new situation.
The office. Monday morning, 2 coworkers, Lisa and David, by the coffee machine.
Listen carefully. We'll ask you questions after.
Ready, Alex?
Ready.
Morning, David. How was your weekend?
It was really good, actually. I went hiking on Saturday. First time in a long time.
Oh, nice. Where did you go?
There's a trail about 40 minutes away. Beautiful views. I took so many photos.
That sounds amazing. I need to do something like that. I just stayed home all weekend.
Sometimes that's nice too. Did you do anything fun, at least?
I cooked a big meal on Sunday. Tried a new recipe. It actually turned out really well.
Oh yeah? What did you make?
Pasta, but with a sauce I never tried before. Took me 2 hours, but it was worth it.
I love that. Nothing better than a good home-cooked meal. Hey, we should catch up properly sometime. Maybe grab lunch this week?
Yes, definitely. Thursday works for me.
Thursday it is. See you then.
See ya.
Okay, listening check. What did David do on Saturday?
He went hiking on a trail 40 minutes away.
And what did Lisa cook on Sunday?
Pasta with a new sauce. It took 2 hours.
Good. Now, let's look at some phrases from that conversation. Mia, Lisa said, it actually turned out really well. Let's talk about that phrase.
Turned out. This is a phrasal verb. Very common, very natural.
What does turned out mean? It means the result was something, how something ended, the final result of a situation.
When you don't know the ending before you start, and then you see the result, that result is what turned out.
Like Lisa tried a new recipe. She didn't know if it would be good. And the result? It turned out really well.
Where do people use this? Cooking, plans, situations, relationships, anything with an uncertain result.
Like, I was nervous about the interview, but it turned out great.
Or, we thought the movie would be boring, but it turned out to be really funny.
Or, the weather turned out better than we expected.
See? Same phrase, many different situations.
Quick quiz. Fill in the blank. I tried a new restaurant last night. The food, really delicious.
Turned out. The food turned out really delicious.
Perfect.
Alex, David said, we should catch up properly sometime. Let's talk about catch up.
Catch up. This is another very common phrasal verb in American English.
What does catch up mean between friends? It means spending time together to share news, talk about life, update each other on what's been happening.
When you haven't seen someone for a while, you need to catch up because time passed and things happened.
Like, I haven't seen you in months. We need to catch up.
Or, let's have coffee this week. I want to catch up.
Where do people use it? With old friends, with family you haven't seen, with coworkers after holidays.
And it always feels warm, friendly, like I missed you. I want to know about your life.
Quick scene. 2 old friends, Maria and Sophie, run into each other at a bookstore.
Maria says, "Oh my gosh, Sophie, I haven't seen you in forever."
Sophie says, I know. How are you? What's been going on?
Maria says, "So much has happened. We seriously need to catch up."
Sophie says, yes, let's have dinner this week. I want to hear everything.
Catch up. A simple phrase, but it means your life matters to me. I want to hear it.
You know, Alex, conversations like this one, that's how English really enters your brain. Not from a list, not from a grammar rule.
From hearing it, from feeling it, from understanding the situation.
So if you're enjoying this, if it feels natural and comfortable to listen, please subscribe. We make new English practice videos every week.
A2, B1, real conversations, real vocabulary, real situations.
We want to be part of your English journey, and we're not going anywhere.
Okay, one more situation. And this one is super practical. Making plans. Because in real life, you have to make plans all the time.
Listen to this. Two friends, Alex and Mia, yes, us, making plans for the weekend.
Hey, Mia, are you free this weekend?
Saturday I'm busy, but Sunday is free. Why?
There's a new outdoor market near downtown. I heard it's really good. Lots of food and local stuff.
Oh, that sounds fun. What time were you thinking?
Maybe around 11? We could walk around, get some food, make a morning of it.
I like that. Should we invite anyone else?
Sure. I was going to ask James, too. Is that okay?
Of course. The more the merrier.
Great. I'll text you the address Saturday night so you have it.
Perfect. I'm looking forward to it.
Me too. It'll be fun.
Let's look at two phrases from that. Very natural, very American.
First phrase, the more the merrier.
This is a common English expression. What does it mean? It means more people is better. The bigger the group, the more fun it is.
When do people say it? When someone asks if they can bring another friend. When you want to include more people warmly.
Like, can I bring my sister? Of course, the more the merrier.
Or, I invited a few more people to the party. Hope that's okay. Absolutely. The more the merrier.
It always sounds welcoming. Never annoyed, never bothered.
It's a warm green light. Come, everyone is welcome.
Second phrase, looking forward to.
This is one of the most useful phrases in English, and it's not difficult once you understand it.
What does looking forward to mean? It means you are excited about something that is going to happen. You are waiting for it happily.
Looking forward to something good, something in the future, something you want.
Like, I'm looking forward to the weekend. That means I'm excited. The weekend is coming, and I'm happy about it.
Or, I'm really looking forward to seeing you. That means I'm excited to see you. It will make me happy.
Where do people use this? Everywhere. Messages, emails, conversations, even formal situations.
In a work email, I'm looking forward to our meeting on Thursday. Very professional, very natural.
With a friend, I'm so looking forward to our trip next month.
Quick quiz. What is the correct sentence? A, I'm looking forward to see you. B, I'm looking forward to seeing you.
B, looking forward to seeing you. After looking forward to, you use the ing form of the verb.
Looking forward to seeing. Looking forward to going. Looking forward to meeting.
Always the ing form. Remember that.
Okay, listening practice time. This is a slightly longer conversation. Listen carefully, then we'll ask you questions.
Two friends, Kai and Sam, are talking after work on a Friday.
Hey, Sam. Big plans this weekend?
Not really. I was thinking about going to the gym Saturday morning. Then maybe just relax. How about you?
My family's coming to visit. My parents and my sister, they're driving up from out of town.
Oh, nice. How long are they staying?
Just the weekend. We're going to have dinner Saturday night, maybe do some sightseeing Sunday.
That sounds really nice. Are you excited?
Very. I haven't seen them since Christmas. It feels like forever.
I totally get that. My family lives far too. I miss them.
You should plan a visit soon. It always feels good after.
You're right. I keep saying I will. I just need to actually book it.
Do it. Don't wait. Time goes fast.
Okay,
Listening questions. Ready?
Question 1. What is Kai doing this weekend?
His family is visiting. His parents and sister, driving from out of town.
Question 2. When did Kai last see his family?
Christmas. He said it feels like forever.
Question 3. What does Sam want to do soon?
Visit his family. He said he needs to book it.
Great. Now, let's look at one phrase from that conversation.
Kai said they're driving up from out of town. Out of town.
What does out of town mean? It means from a different city or area, not local, not nearby.
Like, my friend is out of town this week. That means she's not here, she's in another place right now.
Or I'm going out of town for the holiday. That means I'm leaving my city, traveling somewhere else.
It's a very everyday phrase. You'll hear it constantly.
And the opposite, in town, means someone is here, in your city right now.
Like, are you in town this weekend? Are you here? Are you around?
Simple, natural, very American.
Okay, everyone, let's quickly review everything we learned today.
Vocabulary and phrases. Ready?
Pretty good. Quite good. Comfortable. Not excellent, not bad.
No worries. It's okay. Don't feel bad. No problem.
Starving. Very, very hungry.
Turned out. The result was something. How a situation ended.
Catch up. Spend time with someone to share news and updates.
The more the merrier. More people is better. Everyone is welcome.
Looking forward to. Excited about something coming in the future. Always followed by the ing form.
Out of town. Not in your city, in a different place.
8 phrases. All real, all natural, all useful today.
And that's our conversation for today, everyone. We are really proud of you for staying with us all the way through.
Seriously, that took focus. That took commitment. And your English got better today because of it.
Try to use at least one phrase from today in a real conversation this week, even one.
Pretty good. No worries. Looking forward to it. Even one. It makes a difference.
If you enjoyed this video, please like it and share it with a friend who is also learning English.
And subscribe. We have more A2 conversations coming. Different situations. More vocabulary. Same warm energy.
And leave us a comment. Tell us which phrase was your favorite today, or try using one in a sentence below. We read everything.
Next time, we're going to practice English for a very common situation. Job interviews and talking about yourself professionally. Very useful. Very practical.
You're gonna love that one.
Come back for it.
Take care, everyone.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.